So guys, we're going to go to the training. I invited Sven. We also promised you before, because Sven is the one that's doing the marketing in our team together with some others, but he is like the head of marketing, and he has this this plan going on. And I know that some of you are getting quite impatient, like, where are the masses? But there is a strategy to the madness. and I know Sven. I know how he works, and I watch his work. So I have a lot of trust in him. So Sven, the mic is yours. Just go ahead and you can share whatever has been going on and the plans, and give people some tips what they can do to make it grow even faster, please.
Okay, perfect. Well, I created a little presentation. So if I can share my screen.
Yeah.
Then I will go through the presentation first, because the presentation will give an overview of the vision that we created for what we are going to do. And I think it clears up a lot. So if you can see the presentation.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, okay, so I want to go through a few slides with you, a presentation that I built to give you some overview of the marketing and the marketing plan and what we are going to do in the next few months. So I call this presentation "Unleash Your Marketing Potential and Contribute to the Explosive Growth of the Vidafy Community." Well, that's our community, right? We're building it as, I don't know if everybody in this call is already in the community, but we are building the community out, and there will be much, much more, and it will be very clear when you see this presentation. So what I want to discuss with you is, what is marketing, how marketing can help Vidafy, what is our Vidafy marketing ecosystem. I like to talk about an ecosystem, and it will be clear when I will show you 5 ways community members can contribute to the Vidafy growth through marketing activities. And I will answer some questions if you have them. Okay. So let's talk about the first things first, because a lot of, I see myself as literally as a marketing nerd, right? I spend like 25 to 50,000 euros every year in courses, masterminds, masterclasses, books. I'm diving into it because I really, really, really love it. I really love to do marketing, to set up campaigns, to set up the strategy of the marketing. But for a lot of people, maybe some of you, it's like marketing and sales, like, ooh, I don't like. Do I need to sell the product? Do I need to what do I need to do? But I want to change or reframe your mind a bit, because when we came together with the 4 of us, what I also a lot of times say in the webinars that we are doing is, the 4 of us is like a brilliant puzzle pieces that come together. Because marketing, I love marketing. Winston is the storyteller master, right? So everybody is coming together. And for me, and this is where I want you to shift your mind, marketing is nowadays, and what we're doing is nothing else than education, right? Who agree? It's nothing else than education. You want to, if you are like passionate about the product, or passionate about something that you have learned, right? If you are telling some other people about it, if you want to do one-on-one coaching, or you want to do one-to-group coaching, you're literally doing education. So this is how I see it also. Marketing is nothing else than education. So what we need to do, because we are very passionate about our community, we're very, very passionate about the product, about the opportunity. We need to educate people, share what we know, so they can have the same feeling, right? So 23, 24 years ago, I was one of the first in Holland on a very young age who did the practitioner, NLP practitioner training. So when I did the training, I was so enthusiastic about it. I wanted to tell everybody, because I learned how to take my self-confidence to a higher level, to work on my limited beliefs, etc. And I wanted to share it. And I told everybody I was educating people. But in the same meantime, I was inviting people to the training. I was doing unconscious marketing, right? So this is what I just want to reframe. Marketing is nothing else than education. So it is for us to see how can we educate people in a way that they can understand what we feel about a product, what we feel and think about an idea, about a vision, about our community. So this is what I just wanted to share with you. Marketing is nothing else and nothing more than education for us. And this will also add and combine what I will show you how we will run this, what I call marketing ecosystem. Well, how marketing can help Vidafy? Of course, create awareness, what we need, because we are one of the first groups in Europe and in the world that are helping Vidafy with the products that we are using, that we are enthusiastic about, to create awareness about the product, okay? We create interest, we create and maintain desire for the product, and we will create a passion for the products and our community, and of course, a lifestyle, because it will be a lifestyle. So when I came, so the first time when because I have regular calls with Roy, and we are discussing a lot of things in our call, mainly strategy, what we're doing, the plan, how we do it, etc., etc. The first time that Roy called me or said to me, I have something that is maybe of interest of you. I said, what? Yeah, new product and this, you need to know about it. I said, Roy, okay, multi-level marketing, I don't know. Then he said, you know what, just talk to Winston and then we will talk with the four of us. I said, okay, fine. So I talked to Winston and Winston convinced me about the product. Why? Because he told me it was about kurkuma, right? We know the product. So I said to myself, you know what? I spent an average of 100, 150 euros a month on vitamins and supplements. If this product is so good, of course I want it. So in my mind, it was like, if you want to disrupt something in marketing and you have a product that everybody is aware of, then it will be very easy if you have a product that everybody's already using, but you have a better functionality, the absorption rate, right? So I was enthusiastic. So then we came on a call with the four of us. So everybody here knows Roy. Okay, so Roy said, you know what? I want to help 100,000 families or persons in Europe financially independence between 3 and 5 years. I said, okay, this is a challenge. That's nice. We're going to do this. And then he said, well, plus I want to help 25,000 young people in the next 3 to 5 years. Okay. I know how he's thinking. So a problem makes something to solve, right? So then I thought, you know what? We did it before because I'm working with Roy since 2015 intensely. I know Roy since 2005. We worked together along the way also. And we did it before because this is a screenshot of one of the campaigns that we did 2 years ago in about 18 to 21 days. We had 61,000 visitors on the page and we created 7,263 new leads for a webinar registration. How cool is this? Is this cool? This is cool, right? So we know how to do it. So that's when I started to go to the drawing table. And I thought, okay, how can we do this with the vision that we have, with the product that we have in our hands now, with also the opportunity that there will be more products released in the future. This is huge. So how am I going to build this? So I started to think, how can we reach the people, make them aware, create desire, and let them join or let them make the decision to join our community. So we can grow this and we can reach the goals that we have, reaching this 100,000, reaching a lot of young people and creating a community and a lifestyle that we envisioned, right? So I started to build this. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You can't see it, but this is the total structure of campaign that will be rolled out and is already in the process of rolling out in the near future. This is all the triggers, all the pages that we are going to add to our, what I call, marketing ecosystem. But you don't have to learn this by head. Don't worry. And I'm not going to ask you to dive into this because this is my job. I'm going to make it very, very simple for you. The simplified system, how we're going to do it. Okay? So we see on the left side, we see paid ads and we see organic. And I will explain everything in the next slides. Then you see this arrow going to education. That's our lead engine. What did I say before? Marketing is nothing else then? Yes, education, right? So the lead engine or the education piece is our webinar, will be our blog post, will be our social media post, will be some small videos on different channels, small videos that educate people in the product, in the system, in the opportunity, in the way that our community work together, that to invite them to join. Then you see another arrow, of course, that's the call to action. So if they are in the education part, we want to create different triggers, different emotional steps in them that they decide themselves, this is something that I want, not only the product, but also the opportunity. And this is our job. Our job is to piece the puzzle pieces together in a video, the structure of the video, the content of the text, to make people, if they read it or they see the video, that in that education part, they are triggered enough that they will join. And they say, okay, you know, I want to join this because this is a huge opportunity. So then you see join goes to our logo, the Vidafy community, and then you see an arrow from the Vidafy community to organic. So what do paid ads and organic mean? I will tell you that in a moment. But before, I want to dive in a bit. How does this paid ad system works? Here, a very simplified example how it works. These are numbers, numbers for an example. But for an example, if we put 1,000 euros in paid advertising, and paid advertising, we do that on Facebook, we do that on Google search, we do that on YouTube, we're going to do that on TikTok and different platforms. You have multiple platforms where you can say, okay, Mr. Facebook, I want you to spend 1,000 and I want you to show this advertising or this video or this image to as much as people as you can. If you calculate it back, you can say that if you spend 1,000, you probably, this is one of our goals, to get it to 10 euros per lead. Well, what is a lead? A lead is an email address, for an example, and a name. Someone who will register for a webinar that we are doing, or some other lead engine that we are building, okay? So then when they're registered for a webinar, for an example, they are in this education part. When they are in this education part, so for an example, if we get 10 euros per registration and we spend 1,000, then we get 100 leads in. 100 people, for an example, will see the webinar or will attend the webinar. If we have a conversion, or if we are doing our job correctly, we will have a conversion for people from this 100 who will say, yes, I want this. I want to join. I want to join this community. I want to join this opportunity. So if you have a conversion of 10%, then the total revenue will be 27,000. Because as you know, you invest 2,700, including VAT, This will be for your product purchase, and this will be a part in marketing investment. And this is this 1,000. So this is this 1,000 that we put in marketing investment. So you can see, and this is what we are sometimes talking about in the marketing category or the marketing market, is in return on ad spend. So if we add 10 people to our downline and we have a 10,000 budget again, and we spend instead of 1,000 now 10,000 in, what will happen then in the marketing machine? So as you can imagine, it will like start to roll. And that's not all, but because for me, it's not about only the leads. It's not only about the bottom line, how many people will be added to our downline, how many people will join our community, but it's also much more. And I will tell you a bit later so you will understand how that will go. Okay, is this clear for everybody? How this paid ad structure works? Okay, it's my job and it's my passion to see how can I optimize the education part. So how can I see the psychology, the triggers, the way that we can motivate, inspire people in this education part even more. So we have, instead of 10%, maybe 20% conversion or 30% conversion. That will be amazing, by the way, 30% conversion, but we will work on that. So this will be a spinning reel. It will be a flywheel that goes further and further and bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay? So I hope this is clear about the paid ads. Well, you saw this whole marketing ecosystem, this whole structure that we are building. Basically, it's this. It's about the live webinar presentation. It's about video presentations. So you can imagine that we will do live streams or live presentations where people join live, they can ask questions, etc., etc. But from this content or from other valuable education pieces that we are building now, we will create video. For an example, that you can send someone to a simple video presentation of 10 minutes about the product itself, for an example, or about the opportunity itself. So we will create all these pieces of content. We are now working on lead engines to get people interested, like downloads, like white papers, like ebooks, like flow charts. I give you an example. A week ago, we get like a total of, I think it was 14 videos that Roy recorded in India. 7 was Dutch. I put them already in the community, so you can watch them, by the way. They're all general. We put them on our YouTube channel. We created a YouTube channel especially for us. We're going to put videos on that. But what we did, or what we are doing now, we are now in the process of, we took these 7 English videos of Roy. We transcribed them. So we let artificial intelligence subscribe the text, what Roy was saying. We're improving it. And now we have text. We are converting this to an ebook that someone can download. Interesting or not? Because Roy is saying very interesting information. And of course, in this PDF or this ebook will be a link, what we call call to action, to invite them again back to the, what do you think? Webinar. Okay, so we have all these connecting points that we are building right now. But we also are going to build quizzes, surveys, because we noticed in the past few years that quizzes and surveys are very low profile. People are like interacting with it like quite easy. So you can imagine, do you use Kurkuma in the right way? Answer a few questions and you know. So we're going to build this engagement and interaction. We are building out now Facebook chat automations, and we will communicate with Facebook chat. What we did is we created a Dutch site for our Vidafy community and an English site. In the future will be more languages. But what we did also now is we created on the site that will be released and online soon, that we can place blog articles. So in the future, you can also refer to blog articles. We will push interviews, especially what I envision is that I want to make sure that we get a lot of interviews with Roy, for example, Who of you saw this interview with Richard? I was a few weeks ago. This English version, this interview what Roy did about Vidafy and why he joined it. I think it's in a community also. See it. It's fantastic. I envision that Roy is going to do much more like that, right? Who wants that, right? It's because he can talk about it, like the health benefits and all that kinds of stuff. And we can use that for our education. Marketing. Okay, so this is our lead engine structure, what you saw in this like huge flow chart that we call the marketing ecosystem. Okay, now the question, how do we get new leads in? Well, I answered this question already, but to make it very clear, how are we going to do it? We're going to do it organic. And what does organic means? We created a Facebook group for our community. I will place the links in the community later on today. We created a YouTube channel. If you go on the Facebook and you share a post to your network, to the people that you have connected with your social media accounts, if it's Facebook or YouTube or TikTok or LinkedIn maybe, then it's called an organic share. Okay? So we will create posts that you can use to share yourself. The second way, and the most basic core structure of our campaign will be, of course, the paid ads. We will use videos for that. We will use pictures for that. We will use text for that. We will use anything that creates this stream that I just showed you on the sheet of getting this return on investment and optimizing this process constantly. But here it comes, because you see this arrow, right? This red arrow. Building audiences, reach, ad cost will be cheaper. Okay, can I share you a little secret what I like constantly did as a marketing trick when I'm doing campaigns for Roy? Who wants to know a little secret? What I did? Okay. You know, if Roy and I started a campaign, for an example, we did a seminar. Some of you will remember this Kick seminars years ago, right? When we started something brand new, so new product, a new training, a new seminar, or whatever, if I would put, for an example, 10,000 euros in advertising straight from the start, the cost per click or getting a sale or getting this lead in to a new audience will be higher. That's why I always chose to first release it in the known database of Roy. So this is what I did. I created a post online, on social media, or wherever. I said, this is coming. Then I emailed the list of Roy to that specific post. So what do you think will happen? People reply, right? Because they already like Roy, right? Yes? They're going to answer, they're going to comment, they're going to like, they're going to share. So because of that momentum, because of that engagement of thousands of people seeing the post, hundreds of people liking and sharing the post, when I start advertising that post now, Mr. Facebook or Google, especially Facebook, saying, hey, this post is very popular. You know what? I'm going to give you a lower cost of advertising. Who is getting this principle? So if we work together as a community, if we create for you the content that you can share, if you can post, comment, repost, like, send people there, then the audio or the platforms, the advertising platforms will show, hey, this is cool. These guys are cool. I'm going to give them a good price if people click, if people subscribe, or if people join even, right? So this is where I need your help, because we need to be a team all together. right? So I'm going to instruct you how to do it in the future, how to share it, how to set it up, etc. But this organic part in a community will be a very, very, very important thing for us to do also, because that will lower the cost of advertising. That makes that the lead price will go lower. That makes that the conversion cost for us is better, and the return on ad spend will be much, much higher. And that means more people will come to our downline. Okay? So how are we going to reach the people? We're going to reach them organic, and we're going to reach them by paid advertising. Well, here I want to finish with is I want to share with you 5 ways community members like you can contribute to our growth. Strategy number 1, just share the presentation as well as in English as in Dutch. Because what we are doing during the presentation, we're constantly looking at what is the conversion rate, how many people show up, what we can improve in the presentation, can we answer. So we are doing the best, the 4 of us, to optimize the presentation in a way that we have this education part optimized in a way that when 1,000 people come in, 100 people will subscribe and come to our download, right? So strategy number 1, just share the presentation. And what I just added, I think a week ago, is that we have, or you have the opportunity now, if you subscribe to the webinar, and we will create a link for you that's on our domain name, share.vidafy.team. You have your own reference code, and you can share this on social media. Even better, we can track how many people came to the webinar because of you. Cool? Cool? I think this is amazing. So strategy number 1, just share the webinar. We have more material available, like text and images that you can use, but this link for sharing the webinar is very important, because how I see it in the marketing ecosystem is that the live webinar will be it's like the core of our campaign. It's like the basic core of our campaign. The more people we can get into the webinar, the better it is, right? Okay. So the second way I see how you can grow it is just sample or sell. I heard and I saw a few questions when I'm talking to people. Oh, I get this 48 bottles now. What do I do? Well, yeah, sample them, give them away to people you think they will be enthusiastic about it. They can maybe use it, or they can, just sample it. But don't sample it just in a simple way. Just here's a bottle and give it away. No, what I want to do is I want to create something like maybe business cards or something like that, or some small folder that we can give away. So then we put a scan code, a QR code like this on it. So people scan it and straight away they go to the webinar. So you don't have to do the work. Is that amazing? So you can sample it. You can give a card away, like a business card or something like that. And they have a QR code on it. And when they are enthusiastic, you can just say, scan it and watch the presentation. Right? So also the sell part, I wanna, and it's not there yet, but I'm thinking about it and I discussed it already. Because soon, end of this month, end of April, Vidafy will be in Europe, right? So it's much easier to send it out. But some people don't want to join straight away. So you can have a family member or a friend, right? Or a colleague. And you say, okay, this is amazing. Yeah, give me a bottle. Let me try. Okay, so you can sample it, but you can also sell it. If you sell it, you can have your return on investment, because you invested 2,700. If you have 48 bottles and you sell 10 of them, for an example, to people who are interested, and you give them this card, it's only better. So think about that process also. What I would love in the future, but I don't know how we will manage it in the contribution, But what I would love is that we, on our own site, will have an option to buy one bottle, for an example. So you can send someone, and that someone can buy the bottle on our site, for an example, just to sample it, for an example. But we are still working on that. That's an idea that I have, but maybe we will implement it in the future. So sample or sell. Strategy number 3. We are now in the process of creating all these lead engines, what I was talking about, like this video sales letter, video presentation, short one, downloads, the surveys, the blog articles, etc., etc. What I want to ask you to do when we release it, I will notify you in the community. This is a new lead magnet, or this is a new download. Here is the page. Share it. Just share it online. And I will give instructions exactly how to do it. So share on your personal account or make accounts dedicated to our community. And I will give you instructions later on. I will make some videos in the community how to do it, because I want this organic way to grow with your personal accounts that you can share it. But I'm also going to learn and teach you how to make accounts, for an example, on TikToks. We're going to give you some videos and you can just load the videos in. So we're going to create this massive movement online, anonymous as well as known on social media, all directing to the lead engines that we are creating for our community. Strategy number 4, be socially active. Okay, I always say, because I have kids myself and they're constantly on TikTok and that kind of stuff, right? I always say, don't be a consumer, be a creator, right? Don't go on Facebook just to consume and be on your timeline like 7 hours. No, create something or interact, right? So an example is my mom. My mom joined in, end of November. My mom is 80 years old. And she's very, very, very enthusiastic about this product. So what I see her do, because she is literally waiting, she said, Sven, do I have promotion material? Do I have things that I can share? Can I ask people to join something? I said, okay, Ma, you can ask them to join the webinar. But that's not only. She is going to groups where she's seeing that people are talking about Kokuma. And she just like commenting like, oh, not so nice to hear that your experience was not so nice. I'm using another product. Are you interested? Just text me, right? It's very simple, but I'm laughing about it because she's 80 years old and she's on Facebook, like posting and trying to invite people. And if someone is talking about health, oh, did you hear of Vidafy? You know, so it's amazing how she do it. So this is the strategy number 4. Be socially active. Take an hour a week. Take 2 hours a week. Just go on. And if you see something, just share. And for you, it will be very easy because what we are creating is what you are sharing will be professionally built, like the webinar, like the lead engines, etc. Do F-book post interactions, forum interactions, podcast invitations for Dr. Roy Martina. For example, if you come up and you see a podcast from someone about health and you think, oh, this is very, very interesting, send the host of the podcast and just a message. Do you want to have Dr. Roy Martina? He can talk about some health things and we have a product that is amazing. Are you interested? Because then we can organize, or Jose or our team can organize an interview, and Roy is willing to do it because he loves to talk about it. He's so enthusiastic about it, right? So strategy number 4, be socially active. Well, how do we do it? We created all these nice banners and we will create much, much more that you can share. And all this will be lined up in a special page. There will be a link soon in the next 2-3 weeks in the community that you can click, go to this page, and you can literally grab or download these images. So you can use them to yourself. Right? You can invite people to the webinar using your viral link, using your share link, for an example. We are going to create text in Dutch and in English that you can literally grab and copy. You can make it your own a bit and you can just post it. So you don't even have to think about it. You don't even have to think much about it. What do I post? What do I share? How do I am socially active on social media? So we will make it as simple as possible, because in my mind's eye, I must make it as simple as possible. So my mom, who is 80 years old, who will become 81 in April, can use it. She can just grab it and poof, oh, okay. So this is what I want. So this is what is coming. Just refer to the lead magnets that we are building. Don't make any claims, because this is very difficult. If you make health claims, for an example, if you're going to say this product is curing cancer or that kind of thing, then we are in trouble. So don't make claims and don't start discussions online. You know, see it with from your heart, from the eye of love. You just if you commenting on something, just be nice. Don't start discussions or don't make any claims. So strategy number 5 is share and use the materials by Vidafy company. If you log into your dashboard, then you will see that you have a few. And I'm not so really enthusiastic about it, because there are a few documents that you can share about the product itself. So I thought to myself, why not create our own materials that will be available for you so you can share it? And of course, this makes the opportunity for us that if we create our own documents that you can print out or you can share in form of PDF, that makes for us the opportunity to put our links in it. So a call to action to the webinar again, or a call to action to some other lead magnet. Okay, so it comes back constantly to our community, to our downline. What we are working on also is a simple redirect to make it something very simple, and this is coming soon, is that you have a very simplified URL, like go.vidafy.tv/your name. And what I envision is, if you put, instead of your name, your username or your name that you use for your Vidafy account, you know, when you go to vidafyglobal.com/your name, the username that you use for that, what I want to create in the future, and I don't know when it will be, is that when we place your name here and people go there, that we can redirect them to our campaign or campaign of your choosing, but that straight away your reference is connected to that person who will subscribe. Interesting or not? This is interesting, right? This is not there yet, but this is my vision. This is what I want to create. And that makes it all much easier in the future. Okay, the action plan from my side is rolling out this marketing ecosystem, what I was just talking about, managing and optimizing the advertising strategy and all the advertising, strategize and spinning the content. So for example, what I also said to you, we use this interview from Roy, we create text from it, and we are creating documents out of it. We are now literally building the one a document that is saying the 101 benefits of curcuma, 101 benefits of curcuma that we can use for marketing and other purposes. I'm going to create some SOPs. That means standard operation procedures, like, for an example, how you create your own social media accounts, how you can share and how you can be active and proactive on social media yourself. I'm going to create step-by-step plan how you can do it very easily. And you can use the content that we are creating and then just post it, and then will be really nice. Okay, and creating the instructions in the form of videos, courses in the community. And this is, of course, what I'm doing together with the other Winston, Maury, and Roy. Okay, there are a few things from my side, what do we need? If you're watching and you say, okay, I'm a video editor or I'm an image editor, I can make nice images. I'm a copywriter for the blogs. Or I would like to spend a few hours a week helping our community as a community manager on Facebook, for an example. What we're doing on Facebook with the chat right now, for example, we are building this kind of structures that are automated chats, but we need one of you also who can manage it and answer some questions, for example, on Facebook chat. This structure here, by the way, is inviting people on Facebook, automatic, and registering people automatic to the webinar, for example, right? So we are building this out, but we need a Facebook manager to do the chat. And if someone who is watching thinks, okay, I want to learn this, I think it's interesting, then please connect with me so I can teach you exactly how this works and how you can manage it with an hour or 2 hours, maybe a week, something like that. LinkedIn, we're going on LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube. And my last thing is be proactive. So if you have any questions, I would love to hear it. And we created also that I manage right now email address for questions, or if you want to connect, vidafyteam@gmail.com. Okay, let me know.
Are there any questions for Sven? You can put up your hand, but you can also turn on the mic. Hi, thank you.
Sven, this is Richard.
Hi.
Yes, Richard.
Hello. Can I ask a question? First of all, thank you very much for all the nice things you explained, and to see all the hard work that you're doing on the background. Do you already have an idea? Because this is the how we let's say how we fill the lead generation. But do we also have or do you also already have an idea how to make sure that we can sell the products? What is the idea for that? Is that something you can share already, or?
Yeah, you mean to sell the product yourself? What I just said, if you get this 48 bottles in the first time. So, for example, I joined in what is it? August 2022. I'm still using my bottles from this 48. Yeah. I sample them, I give them away. I didn't sell them myself, but I still have them. So this is what was in my mind, what I just was telling in the presentation, that I'm thinking of, can we build a structure to make it very easy for you to get money back, plus you can sell them. So that's why I was thinking, but it's not there yet, because we have to think about how we're going to do it. Because if we do it, my idea was if you, for an example, join and you get 48 bottles, that we buy 10 bottles of you, and we put a sample bottle, so you can buy one bottle, order one bottle on our Vidafy site, but we do the stock. So we buy them from you for a wholesale price. So you don't lose any money, you get your money back earlier. Okay, so that's an idea that I'm playing with, but it's not there yet. We need to, so how you can sell it, that is one idea, but that will help our community a lot, right? Another way is to sell it yourself. So if you know people in your network and you say, okay, I have this bottle and we can produce this like small card or something like that, right? With this QR code in it.
Yeah, that's nice.
You can just say, okay, you can buy it for, normally it's 50. I give it to you for 40 because I want you to try it. No, and you give them maybe a little discount. You don't lose anything if you give this business card or this little leaflet. That will be great.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. It's a brilliant marketing strategy, by the way. Thank you very much. I'm very impressed, but I did all the time, as long as I Sven know. Do you hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Isn't an idea to make a sticker and put the QR code on the bottle itself? Because I gave it away to people and then I lost, I lose, how do you say that? Control.
Yeah. That's a good one. We can do stickers. And then you can request the stickers. For an example, we can send you 100 stickers or something. I will look into that. I will dive into that.
Great.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe a tip for people that want to sample their products, because usually when people buy a product from you, many times you will remember that. But many times if you start sampling, that means giving it away. Many times we forget. So the first tip is write down what you sample. But what you can also do is make your own stickers with your own name, telephone number on top of it. So at least those people also remember who they got it from. Because sometimes I sample people that I don't know, because I always carry a few bottles and then I get into a conversation and people many times start talking about their health. And I say, look, I have something for you. If you're willing to try, then I'm willing to give it away. You hear it? If I will give you this bottle, would you be willing to give it a try? Don't, please, guys, again, don't just give away bottles, because when people get something for free, there is something in the unconscious mind that it has no value. Okay, the moment it gets value is when you put a condition to it, because you don't have to ask money for it. Sampling works fantastic, but only if you go, if I would you. So if I would be willing to give you this bottle, would you be willing to try it? And then we stay track. So then I write down, I don't always do it. When it's very busy, I give them the bottle and then they give me a card, and many times I just forget. So then you should come home and write it down, etc. And then you should keep track. And preferably, after a few days, you ask them, and how is it going? Are you able to take in? Do you see? I don't ask them, do you notice any results? Because you can feel perfectly fine in your body and be totally sick. We know that by now. Some people feel totally fine. They get to the doctor and they have 3 months left to live. And they feel totally fine. They go like, what the hell is going on? Don't always believe doctors, by the way, when they say those things. But so what I asked them, did it work? Were you able to take the drops every day? That's the most important. Were you able to take it? And then many times you get, oh, no, it's still in the package. Okay, so can we make the appointment that you start taking it tomorrow? Yes, I will. Next day, then I tell them, I'm here to help you because I know how busy we all are. I'm also busy. I'm here to help you remind. Please open the drops and take the drops. This is many times when I'm in a dinner or in a lunch with someone, I just take the thing. We put the drops, and then if I give it away, I open it directly, and preferably I let them open it. I said, look, this is for you. Open it now, and let's start straight away. You have your own drops, and then they put it in their tea or their coffee. That works much better than just giving it away. So I'll just open it at home. You see, if I'm willing to give you the bottle, are you willing to take it right now? Let's try it. And I'm joining also with my own drops. So those little things help the other person a lot in starting it, because that's what we want. We want them to have the experience. Okay. Any more questions for Sven about the marketing? Okay. And it's funny because I hear Sven also, and this is exactly how I thought about network marketing. When I didn't know network marketing yet, I was always having this feeling like, Holland is not ready for network marketing. I have to beg and drag and push and pull. It's anything but that. It's no pulling, it's no pushing. Network marketing is the best personal development course that you can give yourself in this world. Why? Because you get a lot of objections. And objections is what the mind has a very hard time with. I remember that when I watched the group, then people go like, but we were not supposed to do anything. Well, we cannot force you, but I wish you that you will do something, especially with the tips of Sven, because that means that he gives you all the tools, but I still know that some people have a hard time sharing the tools or using the tools because they go, then people know what I'm doing. Imagine this. Let's say that because there are people curing from this product. There are people improving their health with the product. How much are you not willing to help people to get the product? That's the question. Just because you feel embarrassed, you're actually keeping away the opportunity for people to use it. It's a very interesting thing. Just because you feel ashamed of sharing an opportunity, you are keeping an opportunity for people away that are very willing and needy to take a product like this. Sometimes for the medical part, but sometimes also for the financial part. So it's very fascinating. I'm so fascinated, especially the last 2.5 years that I started to speak out. How many people are not willing to speak out about their opinions? Okay? Also about their ideas. You can just share it. Nothing bad will happen. Nobody will come and kill you. Okay, you can just share the opportunity. And what I usually say is, this is what I'm using. Maybe it's something for you. Don't push. If people are not interested, have a nice life. We move on. There's nothing bad going to happen to you. Any more questions about the marketing? Sven, yes, please.
Yeah, and I also think to add what you were just saying, I also think that we need to understand that if you have a little bit of shame, or you don't dare to share these kinds of things, connect it with something higher. And this is why we create a community, of course. So see it in this way. If you connect it to something that is higher, right? Like it has some higher purpose than yourself, then it's much easier to overcome this shame, or do I share, or do I, because imagine this. Imagine that you go to sleep tonight and you have a wonderful dream. You know, you get a visitation by a few angels, and they give you a recipe to cure all diseases. And you wake up in the morning and you know in every cell of your body, you know for sure that this ingredients, absolutely sure that this will help all diseases in the world. Would you lie still in your bed and sit on your sofa and watch Netflix that whole day? Or are you going to your roof and say, I have something that can cure the world, right? So if you connect it with something that is higher, like a higher goal, it's much more easier to share. And this is, I hope, what we want to share and inspire you with. This is what we are not doing, the product only, right? We're not only doing this. We want to build the community that take this quantum leap, right? To have this lifestyle. This is something much bigger than only a product itself, right?
Cool. If there are no more questions, Joan.
Oh,
yes.
one more.
Joan, yes.
Yes. Are there restrictions to, or is it allowed to set it on my website?
Of course you can. You have to be careful with claims, though. Okay. I just saw a question: when will the product be approved by the EMA? It does not have to be approved by the EMA because it's supplementation. When you talk about supplementation in Holland, it's not a medicine. Okay, supplementation is not medicine. And I don't know if you know this, but a medicine cannot be brought on the market if it does not have any side effects. Remember this. A medicine cannot be bought on the market when it has no side effects. You know why? Because then it might be totally natural. If you take a natural product, your body will not find any side effects. And when something is totally natural, you cannot put a patent on it. I don't know what you think, but this is how sick our world has become. You know, we are making medicines that needs to have a side effect. So we prove that it's not natural. And because it's not natural, they can patent it. So instead of improving the world and curing people with totally natural medicine, they choose to take everything out and say, this is not medicine. This is a supplement. This is something minor. Go to medicine. And that's why most medicines, and until today, and that's what Roy always says, the whole thing is with the present medication that we have today, more people are getting killed than getting cured. And why? Because we're not curing the cause. We are trying to cure the symptoms. That's what's going on. And even those little insights can help a lot in informing people. You know, just inform. I love what Sven was saying. What marketing is really about, it's education. when you think of marketing like that, then everything disappears of any resistance. It's education. We also call it educational marketing, especially the field what we are doing. You know, so that's interesting. So you don't need a product approved by the EMA. Again, back to you, Joan. Please do not start putting things like it will cure this, it will cure that, because it might cure, but then the EMA, or at least the Gezondheidsraad, will start knocking on your door. Okay, so you have to be very careful with claims. You cannot start claiming anything, even though it might be true. You cannot claim it because you might get fined. Okay.
Can I say what I have, what the effect is for me?
Very interesting. Look, when you start saying what's the benefit for you, and it's your own website, there might be a benefit for you. Even if you put the referrals of other people saying something about the product that was curable, they will say, wait a minute, you only put the referral on your website to sell it. So also that you have to be careful. They became, the last 2 years, they became extremely strict. Why? Because people are moving in the masses to supplementation, and people are moving away from modern medicines. We are losing the trust in medicines, and they see the big data. They can see it with artificial intelligence. They analyze it with big data. People are moving with the masses away. A lot of people are now not taking chemo anymore, even though the doctor tells them to. People say, no, I'm not going to take chemo. I prefer dying earlier than taking the chemo, because curing from chemo afterwards is even more difficult. And I will not tell you not to take it, okay? But be very careful with what you claim, because they're very strict, because they see people moving. So what I would advise you to do, Joan, is when you put the product on, you just tell them we are giving a seminar. I would use it as a lead magnet. Here is the product. If you're willing to try it, you can call me or you can send me an email. I will send you some information. And if you want to know more information, here is the link to the webinar. Please go to the webinar, and then you have them in the webinar. And then what is nice is do your follow-up after the webinar. Before the webinar, again, I keep repeating this. Repetition is the mother of skills. 2 days before the webinar, you send them another email. I want to remind you, in 2 days, there's the webinar. The same day, 2 hours before, you send them the link again. Hey, I want to remind you, I'm going to be in the webinar as well. If you have any questions after the webinar, please let me know. And this is how we build a community. And this is totally free marketing. Because the money that Sven is going to spend is our money, remember? That's why he's so careful with it. Yeah.
Yeah, just to add, what you just said is the pre-emails and the follow-up emails in the webinar. The moment that they will register for the webinar, all these things will be taking place, because they will literally be catched in our ecosystem. So yes, you can follow up if you have, for an example, that you send the link of the webinar, your personal referral link, by the way, to someone that you know, for an example. You can follow up and say, did you join the webinar, or did you enjoy the webinar, or what did you learn? You know, you can follow up like that. So this is just something that I want to add, because we have all these emails in place. So otherwise it will be too much maybe. So if you send it to someone personally, send them to the webinar, just ask them after or before, yeah, are you going to join? Are we going to see it together, for an example? And afterwards, how did you do it? But because this whole structure we already have, we even have, after the webinar, we're going to send out, or we are sending out emails, one email now, for an example. What did you learn in the webinar? Click and they get a little survey. So we collect data that we can pull in this data in the webinar to improve the webinar, for an example. So all these things are already in place. And also, if you can add it on your website, yes, of course, if you say something yourself and you post it in this organic way, for an example, on social media, it's possible. What we noticed right now, for an example, we didn't do any claims. We are very careful with this. We even talk, Winston and I even talked to Shane about it. So the owner of Vidafy, I was explaining this to him, like, we know what we're doing with advertising, even because we are very aware of claims and that kind of things. Even on Facebook was giving us a hard time the past few weeks, because they're constantly like blocking. Why? Because the algorithm and the intelligence of the Facebook platform is so intelligent. They come to the website, they even know what we're talking about in the webinar. So for Facebook, it's like they're talking about health, they're talking about a financial opportunity, and they're talking about multi-level marketing. So, okay, we don't want you to run this ad on Facebook. Google is a totally different animal. Okay, so we don't have any problems there. But from Facebook, for an example, so organic posts, perfect. Don't make claims from your own experience, or it can be a video or something else, or a piece of text. This has helped me. And I think what I saw in the past few years in a lot of marketing level industry is they needed to make these claims. I remember like 15 or 20 years ago, there was this product called Noni, like what you drink. And people needed to make hard claims that shock people. Oh, it cures this or it cures that. No, we don't need this with this product, because what I also said, this is a very known product. The benefits of the basic function of this product is already so great. For an example, people say, oh, it's so expensive. I have bottles of powder of curcuma and tablets in my closet, what I used to buy, that cost me 7-8 euros per bottle. But I need to have like 15 of this bottle, will have the same effect of this. So the price, so the benefits of these products are so good and so huge, marketing benefits and the benefits of the products, that we don't need to make claims, right?
Yes, very good. Thank you. You can share all the materials, also the videos that's in the community. And also the materials that Vidafy is offering us can also be used, because many times that's about the scientific research and about the general benefits, okay? They don't start screaming like it cures this or it cures that. It's more about the benefits for the body, okay? Before we end up, because we have about 10 minutes left, I want to end up with a short little thing that get to know you yourself better. It was a huge insight for me a long time ago about myself. And it helped me a lot to communicate with other people, okay? And Sven already mentioned it a little bit. It's about our belief system. And I have done a lot of trainings about belief system. I also did some NLP. I am not a very fanatic person with NLP, because I can see that people go totally up to the moon with NLP and they start watching your eyes and get totally into those hypnotic language patterns, even when they're talking to friends. So I think you have to be very careful with NLP. But talking about belief system, it's very interesting. And this was something that I came to the conclusion after a few trainings that, okay, so if we basically boil it down to 3 major things, then it becomes very simple. Now, remember this. If I give you information of 4 steps or more, most people need something visualized to remember it. Okay, so whenever somebody gives you in a presentation 4 points or more, like, okay, remember this, 1, 2, 3, 4, most people cannot remember it. But when it's lower than 4, you actually do not need any visual support. Most people can remember it. That's why I boiled it down to just 3. I call it the 3 layers of beliefs, or the belief system. The first one is opinion. In Dutch, we say mening. And an opinion is something which is quite easy to change. This is very, very interesting, guys, because when somebody is talking to you and you have an opinion about something, when it is just an opinion, it is quite easy to change. So, for example, many times it will change with facts. When somebody doesn't know anything about curcuma and he heard a long time ago that curcuma is bad for you, and you come with the proof, the scientific proof, and it doesn't even have to be a whole bunch of stuff, just a little bit of scientific proof, the opinion is changed. So changing opinions is not so difficult, okay? And that also goes for you. If you just have an opinion and you go, oh, really? Is that so? Oh, I didn't know that. And you move on, then we know that was an opinion. On number 2, we have the belief. And in Dutch, we call this een overtuiging. And it's quite interesting how the word overtuiging does not really have the same impact in the English language, because in English we say a belief, but we also have a conviction. But the interesting thing about the word conviction is that it's also used in court cases. Okay, when you are being convicted of a crime, then it's also called convicted. So that's why the translation is not totally. So I use the combination in belief. If you're Dutch, you can think of the word overtuiging. Now, if you have a very strong belief, then it's much stronger than your opinion. And your belief is not that easy to change. This is why Sven was telling you in the beginning of the training when he did NLP, he started noticing, and we all notice it, when we do NLP, we start to find out our belief system, and we actually start to find out how to change it. Now, Roy is a master in this. He's using quantum to change the belief system. And many times people can change very rapidly, but something neurological has to happen within the brain for people to change. Why? Many times it are programs installed when you were between 0 and 7. And you never knew it because we were so young, between 0 and 7. So for example, my parents always told me, like many of your parents also, I think, that rich people are bad, you know. Rijke stinkerts, we say in Dutch. Rijke stinkerts, as if people, in Dutch it means those rich people that have a bad smell. This is very interesting. Why would you say something about that with people with money? I know a lot of people now with a lot of money that are doing fantastic things for the world. By the way, people with a lot of money have much more options to do better things for the world. But I was programmed between 0 and 7 that those people were smelling bad. Very interesting. The other program, and Roy was sharing this 2 weeks ago, you have to work very hard to get money. You have to work extremely hard. This is still one of my programs. I am totally programmed in working as hard as I can. It's a very strong program, which is very deep into my layers of my unconsciousness. And I have been able to break out of it, but I still notice the moment my default goes on, bam, I go immediately to hard work. These guys, these are the belief system. But now we go to level number 3. And I would say fasten your seatbelts, because this is the one, and I want you to beware of this for yourself first. Okay, look at yourself first. Number 3 is your core value. The core value within your system, people, is the value that you are willing to sacrifice for. It's many times a core value that you are willing to die for. These are the values that if anybody will hurt your children, you will stand up and you will do something. These are the values that you cannot easily change. And if they change, they only change many times because of trauma, many times because of strong emotional insights, many times because of very strong experiences. Then sometimes people come like, oh, wait a minute, I was totally wrong. Okay, but the core value is something that you will not even think about. And this is why Sven, and this is why it's nice to have this training afterwards. When Sven said, try to bring it for yourself to a higher value. Try to bring it to a higher mission. When you think about your product of Kurkuma, helping people, and you can actually see it already in the mission statement that we put. We want to help 100,000 families to become financially independent. We want to help young people to become financially free, to have a better life. These people are core values. These are the values that you will get up early in the morning for and go to bed late at night for. Now, why am I telling you this? I want you to investigate for yourself for the coming days and the coming weeks and months when you encounter an opinion within yourself and go, okay, that was easily changed. I always thought A and now suddenly is B. When something is a belief, an overtuiging, then you will notice, it can change, but it takes quite a lot of facts. And sometimes to change a belief, it also needs inner work. Because sometimes we have a conviction of something, we have a belief in something that we do know it's not serving us. Many times we have a belief, you know it's not serving you. Like me, my default is work hard and it's not for the money. It is programmed by my parents and by my ancestors, work hard, because then, probably I feel more meaning to life, etc. So I always go to hard work, but I know it's not always very good for myself. I know, but still I'm doing it. Why? This is very interesting. And then what you can do, you can start doing inner work. Peel the onion, go all the way inside and try to find out, where does this come from? And then I invite you, try to find out for the coming days and weeks, what are your core values? What needs to happen for you in life for you to speak out, to do something, to take action, etc., etc. Okay. Then to close this off with, this is like a little homework for you. It's very interesting when you go deep into that. The other thing is, whenever you talk to someone and you hear their opinion or their belief or their core value, try to see from what center they are communicating with you. If I am talking to people, I always try to find out, wait a minute, is this an opinion? Is this a belief? or is this something that goes straight to their core value? And I encountered something very interesting last week, okay? I have a business partner within network marketing, and that person is very enthusiastic. And she subscribed a business partner last week, and that business partner, so the new business partner, he called me and he said, look, you know, the one that introduced me to the system is so fanatic, I feel very uncomfortable because now she is pushing me to buy something more, to buy another product. And I just got into the system. I just paid a lot of money to get into the system. And now she's pushing me to buy more. And I was thinking, is this connected to a belief? Is this connected to a core value? Now, when somebody speaks out like that, very honestly, and he calls me, he goes all the way around his business partner, I know it has to do with his core value. I just know. And I told him, look, you don't have to do anything. You are entitled to do anything you want. You are an autonomous person. Do whatever your heart tells you to. And I already knew what his heart was telling him because he called me and actually making a scream, hey, help me out here. I'm feeling pushed. I'm feeling very uncomfortable. So then I called the first business partner who was doing the pushy work. And I said, look, you're doing a fantastic job. You're so excited. But please remember this. And I told her the 3 values. And she was like, oh, wow. Wow. Because what she thought is that he was in number 1. She thought he just had an opinion, that it was very easy to change. But then actually she was communicating with something that was closed down in his part 3, his core value. You cannot change a core value overnight. Okay. So when you know this, when you're talking to people and you start to find out that you're communicating with a part of their core value, please respect it, observe it, understand it, and say, look, I totally understand, you know? And you know what? Just give it a thought. You know where to find me. And whenever I can be of any help, just give me a call. That's how you communicate with core value. When it's a belief, then you can ask them, if I will send you a survey, if I will send you the proof, if I will send you some facts, are you willing to take a look at that? Then many times when you're in number 2, it will change. And when you're in number 1, it's quite easy to change. Okay. I wanted to share this with you guys because I was communicating a lot as if everything that people were telling me was just an opinion. I was communicating like that. I thought, oh, I will change your mind. It's total arrogance and it's ignorance. I cannot change your mind when it's connected to a belief system or your core value. That's not up to me. It's up to you. I can invite you, but it's not up to me. I always thought, oh yeah, I had those opinions also. Because I have a lot of opinions, like every one of us, and I thought, oh, I will change your opinion. No, when you talk with someone with a belief system or core values, if it's in 2 or 3, respect it. When it's in 2 and you feel like, hey, wait a minute, it's a belief system, then you can invite them to watch some facts, watch some videos, and maybe it will help them to get to another idea, another belief. But when it's core value people, and people, you can feel and you can actually see it. You can see people getting uncomfortable when it's on level 3 and you start pushing, respect them, okay? Interesting? Take it into the world, people, and I wish you have a nice week. Sven, thank you so much for your expertise.
Sorry, Eva, do you want to ask the question or do I personally answer it for you? Because you just sent me a chat.
It's okay to answer personally, so you can move on with your day. Did you read it? Because it's
I read
it's
it.
a bigger one, but
we already have some thoughts about it and a
okay.
solution.
Oh, cool.
I'll wait.
Thank
you so much for your question.
All right, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Now we're all curious what the question was, but we can forget it. Okay, people, thank you so much. See you guys in 2 weeks again, and see you in the coming webinar. When is the webinar, Sven? I think it was 15, huh?
15. I think it's
yes.
Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, 1/5, 15.
Dutch one. Please share.
Dutch version of the webinar, 15th of March. Okay, people, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Goodbye.